Evening, folks. Apologies for being late. We had a few problems with our sound, but we're here now, and that's what matters. So, thanks very much for coming in. We hope everybody's keeping well and safe at this time. So, we have with us tonight Tim from Ghosted UK, who's kindly came along and joined us, and we got Shelley and Sarah as usual. So just see who's in the chat. We got Gillian, Nicole, Ghost Switches, Chaos.
I think that's it.
I said Nicole, didn't I?
Yeah.
I said Nicole. So everybody's welcome. To say I hope you're all doing well. So Tim, thanks very much for coming in, buddy.
No problem.
How are you?
I'm in like, I don't know, hibernation. I think from lockdown. I think I'm just just hiding up at the moment. We're not allowed out. So I'm doing what I can from home, and apart from that, I think I've got the what do you call it, like the jitters to be getting out, but I can't. I've got sweats on, I'm desperate to get out there. Unfortunately, you can't do nothing at the moment. So we're just stuck. Nothing we can do. I wouldn't risk my team of catching anything, or we've shared a few colds and flu over the time. So we're just playing it safe at the moment and just staying at home.
Yeah, I think we're all doing that, just trying to keep everybody safe. It's the best and safest option.
That's it.
Definitely.
As unfortunate and everything else as it is, then it's the only option that's necessary. We've just got big Ghost Switches come in. We've got Jennifer and Laura's in as well. Laura's part of our UK team. And Jennifer is part of Paranormal and History USA, our American team.
Yeah.
That's a bit obvious, I think, isn't it? From that, you said something total obvious. I mean,
just a tad.
So, Timmy, tell us a wee bit about your channel and how you get into the whole YouTube game and the paranormal setups and stuff.
Well, we're basically a Norfolk-based paranormal investigation team. And we cover East Anglia mainly, but we do cover, all around the world, basically. We do things that may be a bit different to others. That's the way I like it. We do, when we do investigations like homes, businesses like hotels, pubs and places like that. When they have problems and they want us to go in and check things out. A lot of our cases are private. They're not always shown on any evidence we capture, we show. A lot of it we can't because that's all kept to confidential. But we do things like base readings. We write everything down, document everything. We have cameras everywhere, CCTV. We do it by the book. What I call by the book. Now, people might think by the book, what do you mean? Is it a certain? That's just something we do personally. Other teams might not do it. Like we monitor the temperature, EMF, so we get a base reading of the location before we even start investigating. And that's the way I prefer to do it. So we've got some sort of scientific type evidence as well.
Yeah.
That's the way I've learned. I've made errors. I've made cock-ups over the years and done things wrong. And I'm still learning even after all these years. But I'm just trying to get it so I know that it's paranormal, not something, natural happening. So we're trying to do it. And also, I think we've built up sort of like, I think the spirits are starting to connect with us more. Like we've captured some amazing stuff, like speaking to Arthur Lowe from Dad's Army, the actor, and a full communication through knocks once for yes, twice for no, and things like that. And that's sort of really building up. And then we went down to lockdown again. So it's getting I want to show people like this is genuine evidence. And well, hello, Wayne. Hello, Carol. Just saying, we want to show genuine evidence to say what you're hearing and seeing is genuine. And we've had many witnesses to the effect. All different locations were investigated. And I heard a couple of people walk out because they were just, I can't stay in here. This is too much.
Too much.
Because your head don't register what you just heard or seen, especially when you're EVPs we do.
Mm-hmm.
And when we got, you're asking for a knock once for yes, and you get a thud. And you cannot pinpoint where the noise or the knock is coming from. It's always in the atmosphere, so you can't pinpoint it. But their faces is sweet to look at when they go, like, what was, even myself, I get wow, you get a wow factor. And then you ask another question and you get another knock and so forth. And it's we're trying to get a pinpoint so we can get more detail on these knocks now. Because before we never used to get really any, we might get the odd one knock, but not a full communication. So it's built up over time. So we're hoping to, we'd have anyone like it who wants to come forward and show or come to our location. And I think there's a load of rubbish, blah, 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 and be a witness to this and go, this is genuine stuff. This is something really crazy. People will think it's crazy when you hear the videos, what we've done. And it's not just that one location. It's happened with a Margaret at a hotel. She used to apparently work there as a maid. And she came forward and spoke to us for a good 40 minutes. We even asked like how many people, we wouldn't say trick questions, but we asked questions just to make sure it isn't something like a rat or the wind or anything like that. So we asked something like how many males are here, how many females are here, how many people are here all together, and we do questions like that, throw them in now and again. And they're always answered perfectly. It's amazing, just completely amazing to witness. And as long as sorry, I'm bobbing on.
No,
That's why you're here, Tim. I'm just going to say hello to Wayne and Carol. Sorry, I had a wee bit of blind. Carol and Wayne. Thanks for coming in, and we've also got Sam, and Sam's also a member of our team as well. I've got two questions.
Yes.
I ask this all the time. Have you ever been spooked to the point to say, "Okay, we're done"?
Oh yes. I needed a nappy on a few occasions. Trust me. Yes, it is. I mean, when you get someone like whistle in your logo when you're in pit, because we use night vision cameras mostly. We believe that seemed to help for some strange reason. I think maybe they like the darkness of the room for some reason. But when you get a whistle or a get out in a grumpy old voice, and then it's loud and you can hear it scares the crap out of you. Trust me, because it's nasty. It's a nasty voice. So I've been in a location not long ago at an old school. Used to be an old school, and every time I walked in the corridor, I heard a voice say something, and then I turned around and thought, what was that? I thought that was on my Overleas machine, and I don't know why, because I had the Overleas in my hand and it's voice activated. So I just assumed it was that, but it wasn't. I heard it in my logo right next to me, clear, and I went, oh, because that made me jump. And someone, you're in pitch black, and someone go, or whatever it was, you're gonna jump no matter what, how many times you do it. And I went, oh God! And then I heard a laughter straight after. So someone thought that was funny. And every time I went in that, they
playing a game. Yep.
I've had someone, something I heard was a boo as well. Went boo like that. I've got it on camera. I recorded it. I just when you used to do it a long while ago, you used to scare them. a lot more, obviously, because you build up that energy in yourself.
Yeah.
And you frighten yourself sometimes. We've frightened ourselves looking in a mirror and thought, what's that? And then someone jumped back the skin and grabbed the arm or something. And all you felt was a hand grabbed your arm, so you jumped as well, and it sets it all off. But we've learned to try and calm that down a bit. Obviously, we're not always jumpy like certain people we've seen. But sometimes it's how you feel before you get there. You get a bit. It builds up something, that something's not right about a location. Like some houses we've investigated, we just get this feeling something's not right about it. And you've gone in there, and then you are a bit, I don't know, dubious about going there. Yeah, you think, And so it's that sort of, you've got to cut that down a bit, and try and be professional if you can.
Yeah.
Try. Could we always have a laugh and a joke and stuff? That
is the scary part. I totally agree with it. I mean, you do. I think it's a normal human reaction, even though you're out investigating. If something just kind of jumps or makes a noise, as I say, I think it's a natural reaction that you do automatically, kind of, jump yourself a wee bit.
Definitely.
I think that's partly why it makes it so exciting as well. Some people go to like roller coasters, they still scream when it drops. But it's just different for us. Obviously, if you go to a location and something happens, you just automatically get a fright. It's natural for that to happen, but you still want it to happen.
Yeah,
God,
you still want more.
If you got the buzz and it's in your blood, there's the excitement of the location. I think there can be a build up to it and nothing happen. Don't get me wrong. You can go to, this is really haunted, this place. You get there and there's nothing really there. We've had that before, but it's some funny. We've had some funny stuff. I mean to put it all on video, or the outtakes. Trust me.
You should do a outtakes. Jennifer says it's easy to frighten oneself accidentally. I mean, you can get yourself right sometimes. It sounds nuts, but it does happen. But as usually you get yourself all built up, and then you go to vacation and you'll get nothing.
Yes,
to us with grey fryers,
Yeah.
You get
and
yourself.
You could still scare yourself, actually.
Yeah.
One of the, I think it was Annabelle. She looked in there was a mirror, and that was pitch black. We had the night fishing camera. This is ages ago. When she looked in the mirror, and she just saw this white sort of figure. Probably, all the makeup on, I don't know. And she freaked, and she grabbed because the thing is, when you get these, like we've had footsteps as well, we heard that night, and knocks, they were close, and you could hear footsteps walking around you, and then they go past you, and then that builds up like they're getting a bit too, I don't like spirits getting too close, not in your luggo, because I ask them to back off a bit, because that you can feel the breathing in your luggo, and that just
creepy.
Just me. That just creeps me out. Whoa, hang on a minute, this is too much. But afterwards, I think, oh wow, that's a brilliant. That was, it's weird. When you're there at the time, you're like, no, and then when that's happened, you're like, wow, it can be like that. I mean, I'm so used to it now. I've had that ornament that flew off the shelf or came flying off the shelf, and if you looked at me on the video, I was like, yeah, next. What are you going to do now? They're all screaming and running around like, the people screaming and go mad and go, oh! And I'm just going, yeah, okay, yeah, next. What else can you do? And it's just
it is important to do that, though. It is important to do that, I think, in that kind of environment, because everybody's screaming. You could be missing so much more. Like maybe EVPs or the phenomena, the voice phenomena. You maybe be able to hear some of that if no one was screaming.
sometimes we can talk too much on investigations. You can rabbit. I mean, I've done it before. Rabbit. I'm probably doing it now. You can rabbit. But then you're not capturing anything that you want to hear, and especially when you want to hear something. So we try and say, keep us sound. I mean, when we do our lives, we could be chatting away with grief, but it's not the right thing. The right thing is to be quiet and listen. Call out, yes, but then give it time for the answer. You know, don't go, what's your name? How old are you? Do you used to live down it and continuous it, because you're not giving them a chance to answer. Same as EVP recording. Give them space to speak. You know, I've seen a lot of people do that, and I think, well, hang on a minute, just give them a chance to respond.
That's right. And sometimes things, it kind of goes one after the other, doesn't it? Kind of one thing happens, and then suddenly you're getting like different bits of activity happening straight afterwards.
Yes. It's weird. It's just I honestly think I mean I spoke to a lot of people who told me you've definitely got some connection with spirits. We've been to places and they've straight away come forward, and I mean we've been lucky in that. I think that's something that I've known since I was 10, ever since I'd done a Ouija board, and the picture behind me crashed on the floor. Don't ask me why I was doing a Ouija board at 10 and what I was doing. It was just, you know, kids being kids, you know. And my brother was interested in things like that, and I copied him a little bit of what he was doing. So I decided to make my own Ouija board, and had my mates round, and you've never seen kids run so quick, I tell you. But I've had some very strange experiences over the years, very strange. I ain't seen too many spirits, ghosts. I've only seen a few. So I'm not seeing them every 2 seconds, unfortunately. And my only communication with them is either through my equipment or through knocks. I'm not a medium, you know. The only odd thing I've had is when they've communicated through me, where I've answered a question. I answered the question and I answered it myself. Would you believe? And I didn't even know I answered it.
It just came to your head.
I actually said the word. I said the question, and I went no to the response. And I swear I can't remember ever saying no. But on the video, you can see me respond to it as saying no, that's only happened the once, and that freaked me out because I can't remember saying that ever. And I wouldn't answer my own question, would I? But that was strange. People said I've looked like certain people as well. I've sort of morphed into a person, an old gentleman and things like that. But I didn't know. I ain't seen it myself because I can't.
You must just be open to be able to do that.
I think, yes, I think you open yourself up to communicate. And once you open yourself up, you protect yourself, obviously, with a blessing and that. But you're still opening yourself up to this. Even if you're using equipment, you're still opening yourself up. Ouija boards, yes, but mostly any equipment you're using, you're opening yourself up to the spirit world. So you have to know when to stop or when to, what you're doing. And it's experience that tells you to say, well, enough is enough, Don't push it. Because you never know because you don't know what you're dealing with. You don't know who you're dealing with. They can lie. We've had spirits lie to us, and we trip them up by questioning because we know this isn't right.
You see it all the time, that as well.
Yes.
I'm just going to get to some of the comments. A couple of questions for you. No, it's fine, buddy. It's fine. That's why we asked you on to talk. I'm
just trying to explain it. I explain and it does go on a bit, unfortunately.
I can do that out to Glasgow sometimes, and I can explain something that can last 3 weeks. Just explaining. Shelley's the same in Glasgow as well, but keep it quiet. Kevin came in, and Kevin joined us as well. And hi to anybody else who's joined us recently that I missed out.
Hi,
Kevin. Wayne is. Does I say hello to Wayne? Robin
Yes.
Pratt's in as well. Welcome, folks. Yes, to tell us about the witches' tree, Tim, at the Abbey.
Oh well, East Somerton, yeah, the witch's tree. It's about the history is about a witch who had a wooden leg, would you believe, and she was guilty of witchcraft and buried at a church, or executed at a church. And years later, the curse was she cursed the church, and a big oak tree grew in the middle of the church and destroyed it. Apparently, they cut the tree down a few times, but it just come up from where she was buried under just kept growing and growing, and that got to a point where it just destroyed the church. So they moved on. And apparently, it's a cursed area. It gives you bad luck. If you go around a tree 3 times, apparently you get bad luck as well. Or the witch comes out and present herself to you as well. There's so many different folklore stories. But we have had a few EVPs and some strange EMF readings from that area. It's a very odd place, very strange. Footsteps I've heard there, movement around me. I've had the knocks as well, but only a couple of times. Asked some questions, which was odd, because where can you get knocks unless they knocked on the tree? You're thinking, but it's a very strange atmosphere. Yeah, it's. We caught an EVP. We recorded just a response. I think I asked, "Do you know about the witch from East Somerton?" And I got a sound of, I think maybe a lady saying yes. That was a clear yes on the live, and that was quite interesting. Especially when that's the only good thing about lives. If you get an EVP on a live and you play it back on the live, and you go, there you go. And no one can question that you pre-recorded it or anything. But yeah, that's a strange place. So it really is a weird atmosphere. One time you go there, it's quiet, and it's just something weird about the place. I don't know what it is. I can't tell you what it is, but not a lot of people go down there on their own at night. Trust me.
No,
it's an amazing place.
Did you or your team ever have spirit following you home?
Yes. Oh, yeah, a few times. Yeah. Just saying that about the witch from East Somerton. One of our mediums, I swear she had something followed her, and she was in a bad way with it. She knows she protects herself, and but it was a strange thing. I ain't going to say which team member it was, but they did go like a depression and changed, and just felt, some strange thing. But they had to go around, another medium had to go around and bless her, and we got it sorted in the end. But she believed she got an attachment from there. We've had some weird things. I've had markings on me as well. I've been marked once, and it's also Natasha, our medium's been marked, big mark around her neck, all the way around. Yeah, that was strange. She said she felt someone being strangled. That's what she got through as a medium. Okay, blah blah. And then later on, someone noticed there was a big mark around her neck, which you couldn't explain. It's like a root burn, and we got pictures of it.
horrific.
It was a big red mark all around. It weren't the jacket or anything catching on it or nothing like that. So that was odd, and no one noticed it before. We got there. That was a private a shop that had activity, and things being moved in there, and objects thrown on the floor, and all sorts of voices they've heard there. So that was strange. Yeah, you do get it. I mean, it is a bit scary, but you just have to make sure you know from experience how to deal with it. I mean, if you've got a problem, don't hide it. Tell your teammates, explain that you've not been feeling right since you've done that investigation. If it continues, then stop what you're doing. Have a break. I've had breaks before when something's happened, back off a bit, give it a rest, because you don't want to push something we don't know what lays ahead, with the unknown, isn't it? Even from my experience, I still don't know what it is. We're assuming there's spirit, but we don't know what it is. Is there rules on the other side? Do they, do they set? They go, no, I don't like him. He's a pain. I don't know. We just don't know. There's definitely something there. I've definitely witnessed some strange stuff, some amazing stuff, scary stuff, but we still don't know what we're dealing with. So you have to be careful. It's my advice to people if you're going out and investigate.
Yeah, I think you're spot on, buddy. As you say, we still don't know, and we don't actually know until we get there. For once, a better word, as you said, mentioned earlier on, you're still learning, and we're all still learning. You would say this in many a life, but you can study the paranormal for 20, 30 years, and you're never going to be an expert, ever.
No. I know people spend 50, 60 years on it and still don't know what's like what's going on. They don't know. No one's got the answer. That's the wonder of paranormal. We probably will never know the answer. I mean, all we can do is just gather the evidence as best we can, keep it genuine. I don't like this fake stuff going about. It's blooming annoying. There's a lot of rubbish going about, trust me, for views and stuff like that, and money. But I just don't like it, because the genuine paranormal teams out there, they're just going to call you an idiot and think, more fake stuff, blah, blah, blah. Oh, God.
Trust me, I could do a whole live on these subjects. I think a lot of us could do, a 3-4 hour live on these subjects. Gillian had mentioned earlier on about respect, respecting the spirits.
Yes.
We think that's really important. You do, as you were just going to say about ghost, other groups and that, you get a lot who will go out and they'll try and provoke them, call them names, whatever. But Gillian had, about respect. We think that's an important thing. What's your view on that?
Definitely. I mean, you got respect, them. Be kind, be nice about it to them, and try and understand them if you can, because they're in their situation. They might not know what's going on, so don't try and push them for answers. They could be confused. So you've got to be careful what you say and how you say it, And I think that's what you get. If you give them respect, they'll respect you. And I think that's when you'll probably get more evidence. I've seen teens getting baseball bats and whacking things and swearing at them and come on, that's get your ass out here, and that's disgusting. That really is. You wouldn't speak to your mother like that.
No.
No,
if you did, you'd probably get whacked around the luggo, So if you did get a whack back, then that's your own fault. That's all I've got to say.
And you say like spirit, spirit are. I've said this again in many a live that a spirit, a ghost, whatever. This is just my opinion. Is the only thing that differentiates them from us is the physical body.
Yes.
And physical, in this life, we want to be respected,
Yes.
And it's the exact same on the other side.
Tell them what they might like. I mean, if they like football, we've had things that do that. Do you like football? Did you used to watch football? Did you used to read what's your favourite newspaper? And we try and ask them things like that. What's your favourite flowers? What sort of flowers do you like?
It's good to relate with them that way.
Yeah, and things like that. You don't just become something nasty and abusive. I mean, I've seen that, and it disgusts me. It really does. I mean, the thing is, I believe in karma, so if they want to do it, I know something's going to happen back, because they're not. It's the balance, isn't it?
Yeah.
In life as in death, it's a balance, and if you've got to keep that, you do something in life that's not right, that balances out in the end. That's what I believe in.
Exactly. Well, Carol made a good comment. No such thing as the expert. Everybody's experience is different. That is bang on, Carol. Thank you for that. And that's one of the reasons we started doing the interviews. I know it's called paranormal investigating, going out ghost hunting, graveyards, ruins, but we believe a big part is also doing interviews, because you learn, you speak to a lot of different people, as you'll know, Tim, and everybody's their own experiences, their own views, techniques are, when they go out. And I mean, we've learned so much in just doing the interviews.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's everyone want to do their own way they want to do it, and it's at the end of the day, as long as if you capture some evidence, and that's amazing. No matter, as long as you ain't abusive or aggressive or anything like that, and you keep to, if there's certain things out there I disagree, like certain equipment I disagree with, because that gives false false hits, sort of thing. So you have to be careful, but I still don't argue it. I wouldn't say don't do it, because it's a learning curve, excuse me. It's all a learning curve for everyone, and that it's just your experience. You experience it. Try and record it if you can. if you and try and capture it if you want. If you don't want, you don't have to. If you witness things without any equipment and things like that, that's amazing. That's your personal experience, and you can go, oh, what happened then? It's just that being a paranormal investigator, I just want to try and capture it to show people and see what they think.
Yeah,
they like it, you do or you don't.
We're all looking for that one. But hi, John. John, thanks for coming in, buddy. Hope you're well. It's so frustrating for spirits when they haven't the energy for provided evidence and they don't know how. I don't think all of them know how to communicate with their side. Best to be polite. I would agree with that. Especially a new spirit, as somebody's just recently passed. No. It might sound nuts. We've got their wits about them yet. They've no learned how to gather energy and how to, like the film Ghost. I always compare it to the film Ghost, maybe with Patrick Swayze.
Patrick, that's very kind of you. That's very nice of you. Did he call me Patrick Swayze then? Did he?
No, I'm afraid not, Tim. No, nice try.
I'm just having a good try, but not this time. Sorry, Patrick. No, it's not happening.
I just swore it just came through here as Patrick. You look like Patrick Swayze, but I'm wrong. Do apologise.
Maybe like and look sound the same. Maybe you picked that up.
That's my screen went funny then. That might have been.
Wayne Miles.
Every time you visit the same place is a different experience.
That is very true.
Yes.
Yeah. Definitely.
The only thing I can say is when we used to do charity events, we used to do a few charity events, Samaritans and whatever. And the thing is, when they used to say to us, it's going to cost you so much to hire it, because we obviously had to pay to hire it. We were lucky. We used to get private investigations out of it before. I said, we'll hire it if we can go in as a private one, because they used to look at me, okay, what's he after? But the thing was, we used to find things about the location. So when we done the event, we can show people, there's a little girl down here. She might be here. You'll see. And guess what? She used to show. And yes, and we'll do an EVP, see if she's here and things like that. And one place we had a theatre that had a young lady who liked very young men,
Right.
Well, an older lady liking very young men, should I say. Yeah, so when we had a young man on the event, we took him to this specific place and asked him to say hello to this lady, and he heard this voice calling his name, and that was the
Oh,
lady.
brilliant.
He witnessed it. Yeah, that was amazing. He went white as a sheet and walked out, but we had to calm him down. But it was like,
I've never knew it.
But-
Tim is no Patrick. You know, that's Carol said that, not us. Maybe postman.
hey, right, that's it. You're getting your P45 now, Carol. That's it.
Come on, I've watched your channel. I've watched your, your clips and your investigations and what have you. There's two I wanted to ask you about. One was the Arthur Lowe populant.
Oh yes, Arthur Lowe, yeah.
Because I was a big Dad's Army fan in my
Yes,
younger years, and always
Yes,
remember Arthur Lowe, Captain. His famous catchphrase was "stupid boy." The talk
Yeah.
the always remember that. Just sticks with me. So when I saw the title of the video, I thought I knew what Captain Mannering. That was quite interesting with the knocks.
Yeah, headphones required on some of them, obviously, because the sound on the pads and things. I keep telling people on phones that isn't that good, so you need some headphones on, and you'll hear the knocks. What did you think then? Did you think the responses were clear to when I asked, or?
I think they were. I think they're intelligent responses.
Yes. Well, they were a lot louder. They were a lot louder there than they were on the camera. Trust me.
I definitely think they were intelligent responses.
Yeah, and as you say, I try and debunk it by putting our legs up, but we couldn't find out where they were coming from. This is the thing with a lot of these knocks. We can't just find, like the coffee table, are they distinctly come from they're not. They're in the atmosphere. This is the strange thing we're coming across, and they're not from one specific. You're in these films, you see them, the knock on the door, boom, boom, boom. It's never like that. It's normally we just can't pinpoint them where they come from. We're like this. Is it that way? That way? We're trying to pinpoint them. Even had like Andrew bought some. I can't remember what they're called. What the doctors use to
Stethoscope.
The heartbeat stethoscope.
He put it on the wall. He put it on the wall to use it on the walls for these knocks. No, can't find it. I mean, if you had a I can't remember what's called. Is it the dish? What's it called? Good. I always call it the antibiotic dish, but I don't know. It's not right. But we use this dish, and I've got one here. Do you want to see? Should I show it? Would it be easier? That's Andrew's. Yeah. These are good, Andrew, because we were hearing these EVPs, you see, and some of our team members are deaf as a post, right? This helps, but this picks up. Oh, let me get it. Cool, this is all wrapped up. Oh, this might take 2 seconds. There you go.
Oh, right. You see them.
Now, right. So what with this? What you do is you got your headphones. This will pick up sound. Spies usually. Oh, hang on, that was loud. That was no spies use. It's not a sat. It's not a picks up sky. No. And basically, it just picks up sound. A lot louder than your normal hearing. So when we're just doing EVPs, you switch the switch on. Got your headphones on. Don't put it near someone talking because you'll just be deaf. And it picks up sound from I think it's about 50 meters to 100 meters, probably. But these are good for listening to EVPs. So what we've done at the what I think Wayne was saying is an EVP session. Andrew was the other end or near me with this to see if he could hear anything, and he heard the yes as well as the EVP. I never heard it. I don't think. And then when we played back the EVP, there was a yes. And he said, I said, did I get something? I go, did you hear anything? He went, yeah, there was a yes. When we played back the recorder, there you go. There's a yes response to was this the where the witch, where the location. This is a very good bit of equipment. It's a brilliant piece of equipment to use.
Sorry, Tim, what's that called again?
Oh God, I think it's something.
A sound dish.
Well, you say sound dish, yeah. There is a certain name. A sound dish. You can call it a sound dish. But it is a great piece of. It's a great piece of equipment. They're about 30, 40 quid, I think. I do recommend these, especially when you're doing EVP recordings, because you can hear the voices. It's surprising what you hear on these. What's that, Tim? You look like a bit like Gary Oldham. Oh,
you're the
right.
The compliments are going in tonight.
Is he good looking, or is he like Dracula or something? I don't know.
He played the film Air Force One.
Oh no, I can't remember.
No.
It weren't Tom Cruise or nothing like that then.
No. Oh, sorry, no Tom Cruise for your sound dish, no.
I'm kidding.
No. Carol says it's a parabolic, is that right?
That's it, yes, that's the word.
A parabolic.
Thank you, Carol.
Well done, Carol.
I daren't say it because I say a different word to what she's saying. I say a pair of that word. I got banned from saying that, I think. It's a pair of I'll beat that. But yeah, it's a great. It's Sorry, go on.
No, you carry on, buddy.
I'm just saying it's a great piece of equipment. If you ain't got one, get one because they are really good, and you'd be surprised what you. Obviously, if it's a busy area like near a main road,
no,
don't bother using them because you're going to hear people walking down the road. You're going to hear,
too much interference.
You want it in the middle of nowhere. They're quite good. That's the way I'd use it. You hear a bird from 100 meters away. It's chirping. It's really good.
There's a clip I want to ask you about, Tim, and I played this clip, quite a few times. It's in George's Theatre.
Okay. Yes.
Now, but 8 seconds in, your camera. I take it. I'll say a control booth for want of a better word. It looks like a bar, and the camera's situated at the end of it. And about 8 seconds in, you see a black shadow moving at the side of the booth.
Yes.
Lasts for about 3 seconds. And as I say, I played it over and over that, this clip, and I find it quite interesting.
I think the interesting thing is there's 2 wooden doors behind there which cannot reflect light in, and also it's a big area to the doors. We're all off when the cameras were set. There's another camera to your left of that as well. Look at the other direction, so they're like that. And on that camera as well, there's no one there going that way. There's no one that end. There's just the camera pointing up. And that's when we caught the figures. There's also a white figure on there, if you notice, from the right hand side that comes in and then it goes. Now, what I believe is, someone said to me that the shadow figures, especially, go along and then they go down, like they're going down the cellar.
Yep.
Now, I got told there's a cellar down there, and then I got told there isn't a cellar down there. But what I believe is there is a cellar down there, and it's been locked off, seized or closed all off. And what someone told me, they believe the cellar's right near where the doors were, behind those glass doors, where these shadow figures were going. And because not only that's a theatre, but that used to be a church many years ago. People don't forget about that. It used to be a church, and most churches anywhere in all over the UK, all over the world, they always had secret tunnels, and because to store the gold, they always had gold or because if they ever got attacked by pirates or God knows what, they had somewhere to get rid of it. All the Vikings are coming quick. Right, let's get it shoved down here. Where are they going to put it if they didn't have a cellar or a secret cellar or something like that. And there's always known tunnels in that was in Great Yarmouth, Norfolk, and also there's always tunnels. You always hear about tunnels, even in your area. You probably heard about some sort of secret tunnels running underneath, because that's the way they used to the black market as well. You know,
That's right.
Yeah,
We
you
have
know,
that in Edinburgh.
smuggling rum and all sorts of people, whatever they want. So the easy way to do it is bring the ships close to the harbour, having a tunnel somewhere going into somewhere, and they're all going. They never done it on by road because you get spotted when you. Oh, I've just got my rum. Hang on, so has always been like it. Even to this day, there's probably secret tunnels where stuff are getting smuggled. Hope the smugglers are listening to me. I ain't blowing their cover, but you know, people smuggle people in. People try and smuggle people in now, by boat and stuff, and it's definitely. And I think that is something to do with that, but I could not debunk it. We had some weird, strange things happen at that theatre. The weird thing is as well, we had 2 cameras at the top that went all weird, and a door shut, if I remember. And the footage where the door opened is disappeared. Blank.
Go on.
So we can't see what opened the door at all because the footage is completely blank. Work that one out. They're brand new CCTV camera with the the hard drive and stuff, but for some reason that's disappeared, which is strange.
Something similar happened to us. I'm just going to say hello to Lindsay Haddo came in, and Ouija Freak. Ouija Freak is our latest recruit, latest victim. Joined us last night. So just to say hello to him, thanks for coming in. We used to Tim about footage disappearing. And it happened to me twice. We stay in Ayrshire, and there's a place at Drossing Castle. It's linked to William Wallace. I was down there myself filming one day, and then I went to the next kind of town over. It's a place, Kilwinning. There's an old abbey there, so I was filming in the abbey, and then I went to a park, Eglinton Park's quite a famous park down this area. Filmed there, and for some reason the castle and the park worked out, but the abbey was missing.
Oh, right.
Press record. I did record it.
Yeah.
So I went back maybe a week or two later. I went back at night time. We were out in the car and with the camera. So I thought, I'm going to get back round again. And so I took a wee walk around the abbey. There's a big graveyard attached to it. Filming again. Nothing.
No, the second lot of footage worked. You could view it on the camera. But the minute you went to upload it onto the PC to edit it, it would come up file corrupt.
It was, couldn't do anything with it. The first lot wasn't there.
It's weird because we've had it a few times where we had one with a cellar, for instance. It used to be an old morgue. And we investigated that, and one camera was moved. We don't know what moved it because we were doing the live at the top. So no one was down there, no wind, no. People said it was rats, wind. We've had it all. Trust me, there was nothing down there. And
to the left.
Yeah, and then we had another camera to the right, and that camera was there, and we were thinking, and that had been moved and actually knocked if I remember, but the footage has vanished. When you go through the CCTV, you're playing it back. You're watching it and you see something not quite right, and then blank. Where's it gone? The weird thing is that it's like so rare. It could be a glitch. It is possible. But the weird thing is, we never really have it like the thousands and thousands recording of hours on that. Never had a problem. So it's just strange that it's like whatever that was captioned. So I think whatever touched that went round to the other side of the camera, and where we would have seen something, I think that just went no. Same as the door opening. The door was out. you see the door shut, but who opened it? Why not recording the bit where it opened? Because if we'd have seen that, we might have seen something pushing the door or something. All you saw was the door shut, and there's nothing there. and these are big car doors, you know.
Sam is finding this very interesting. That's Sam, one of your teammates. She's finding this very interesting. Hi, Cheryl. Thanks for coming in, doll.
Cheryl, I didn't say hello to many of them. Sorry.
Lord, if you want to tell me second to say hello to people in chat, fire in, buddy. You know, it's...
well, my I think our heating's on at the moment, and I've got a thick sweater on, and I'm like, hang on.
Too hot.
I think my other half's trying to bake me here. I ain't saying too much.
No, don't. Frying pan coming out the side of the screen or something, you know. Fine.
Yeah.
Wayne Miles, was saying he wants to investigate Edinburgh vaults. Not been in Edinburgh since I was in the Scottish Guards years ago. The vaults are amazing. We've done the Blue Street vault. The vaults are really, really a fantastic place to go. So it's Greyfriars as well. If you come up this end in Greyfriars is, you know, really, really good. I think Shelley's got a couple of questions for you, Tim.
Yes.
Well, what about I actually had it right and doing, to be fair. So just bear with me a wee second. It was to do with the spirits. In fact, it was to do with your equipment. So what would you say was the most reliable piece of equipment to use on an investigation?
I do like the REM pods. I do like them. I think they're quite good. Mostly because they don't go off much. So you don't get like many false readings on them, sort of thing. They seem to be quite reliable. I mean, people say, "Why do you know if you got a false reading?" I mean, the best thing is to leave it there for an hour and see if it go off.
Yeah.
That's the secret. They sit there do nothing. Yeah, they sit there do nothing for ages and ages, and then suddenly it go off. Then that's quite interesting. They're quite good. I think I never had any sort of, because we test them with the cameras, and you put the cameras near them. They don't seem to interfere too much. I mean, you could get a spike from something else that triggers them, but if you get a response from them, like you're asking questions, which is obviously rare, you know, then that's a good thing. The tri-field meters are good. They're quite good. You can put them, some of their good EMF readings. You know, again, get a stability of what it's about on the location, because you just want to don't walk past a freezer and go, "Oh, that's Mary coming through," because there's obviously a Sanusi freezer, if you know what I mean.
That's right. And as you said earlier on, you've got to do your baselines before you even start. You've got to make sure that everything's, you know, what all the figures are, so that then if it fluctuates, then you've got something to work with.
Look in all the cupboards. Check there's nothing like some sort of electric cables running through there. You know, it sounds mad to certain people. People probably can't be bothered doing it, but that helps debunk later. You can always say, well, that might have been that cupboard that spiked something through to, you know, something. But yeah, you got to do your basic stuff to start with to debunk anything, because why you do it is because if you capture something amazing and you know there's nothing there, no electrics. We've been in bunkers, nuclear bunkers before, and there's nothing down there. So if you get, like, we've had the REM pod go off up in there, and there's no way nothing triggers it.
No.
Make sure your phones are switched off as well when you're doing really good. That's the trouble with live. You've got to be careful what equipment you use. REM pods are good. Tri-field meters. I've got some of Andrew's stuff. Look, if you want to see.
Oh.
The old static field that.
Yeah, that's right.
1200 BC. That.
Yep. Does that create the static electricity, static energy?
Yeah, this is one of the first ones that Andrew got the university to build some of these. I've got older stuff this here. I'm a bit of a collector in the thing. Andrew, you can have this back eventually.
Oh. So I think
you don't know where
our
it is.
Sam. So sorry, Tim. I think your Sam's asking what your opinion is on the Overleas. Overleas.
Oh, I like that. Yes, that's a good one. For example, that a lot of stuff you get through it is probably just mumble jumble. You know, a lot of you think, what the hell? What is that? So you have to work out, depending on the case, like a name you might have come across, and you get the name repeated on it because it records the data as well. And oh, has my sound gone then?
No, you're fine.
Okay, so just heard something there. And also with the Overleas, we had a private location, a house we investigated, and it said on the Overleas, dig or dug tire, dug spoon, and dug bones. And the owners of the house turned around and said, "That's odd." I went, "What?" She said, "I just said that, didn't I?" I went, yeah. She go, "Well, my husband dug them up, them three things the other day in the garden."
See?
And we've had names come through. Someone had a name who had a heart attack, and it said their first name and surname. And the person who had their husband had died of a heart attack was sitting right next to us.
My God, you can't argue with
So
that.
so you know, so they do work. You know, it's I'd say 70% is rubbish that comes through, but mind you, it might not be. Sometimes it'll give you the answers. There'll be sheets of information on it, and you just have to write everything down or print everything off and check through anything that's prominent to the investigation, like a name or anything that's come through. You know, they sometimes mix them up. You might ask a question, 2 hours down the line, you get an answer. So you have to just check them through all the data and just check there's anything, like a name or something.
That's right. You've got to be sure.
They do work. Definitely.
There is one question there, but just following on for that, like that's kind of traditional pieces of equipment. But how do you feel about the apps you get nowadays on the mobile devices?
Oh, I get asked that a lot. I never really use them. We haven't used them because we stay to like PC software and stuff like that. But I'd never say you couldn't. I've tried a few out, and that just kept repeating the same thing. That's one of them. But there is. I just think if it gets people's interest in the paranormal, go for it. I wouldn't say there's anything that amazes me on it. There probably is some good stuff on there. But I think if spirit want to communicate, they'll use whatever they want.
They'll try and connect any way they can, really.
Yeah, so I think, try it. I mean, why not? I mean, I wouldn't say, no, don't use it as rubbish, because you never know with stuff like that. I mean,
until you try it, actually.
Until you try it. There's so many out there. I've tried a few, and I think I tried a devil one or something. Someone asked me to try. I didn't want to. It's called demon something, and they just run on a load of rubbish. I couldn't work out what that was saying.
Oh no,
that don't make no sense. There's no sense to me with it. Some that just kept repeating certain words, and I thought, well, that ain't making no sense. So, but I have tried them, and I probably will try and keep trying. Someone asked me,
right, because I think that's right. Because I think going with the times, the younger generation are moving up, and so they're going to be trying to do things with modern technology. You know what they're like. They're always on their phones. I think software builders would just try and create better applications for people to use that can then be used for ghost hunting.
I built most of the stuff we got. Goose boxes I built, Brim Pod bears and so on. I build them with a battery pack in that, as you can see. I've got a few of them. I think I had loads of these. I've got a thing. I mean, you can't take half this stuff anywhere. It's just ridiculous. I mean, we've got enough. There's so much stuff. You need a lorry full of stuff. It's ridiculous. I've also got another bear down here. Where's he? Oh, another one here.
Oh, he's cute.
Yeah, but you don't you need one. You don't need thousands of them. Just messing around with them and stuff. Or yeah, they're good. I mean, we got a bear as well, the Boo Bear, the newest one that came out. I think it's come out from a year now, probably, because they got away, done away with the Boo Bear. If anyone know what the Boo Bear is, the mini detector. They're not cheap, and Natasha luckily got one. From as soon as that came out from the company, they released this one, and so we had one of the first ones out, and the newest one, because they stopped it after 7 years ago, I think, or whatever. And so she got the new edition of it, and that was quite good. That was quite impressive. We got some, put it in what we call a lock-off room. So we locked the room off, put a camera in there, and we had footsteps, growls, and someone just toying with the bear. The bear was. I got it on some of the recordings, and there was, you could hear someone walking around and banging around in there and stuff, and it was closed off, and that's quite amazing. So we did get some. I've had some reactions with that bear, and we had a voice laughing at it like a. The bear was saying something, and all we heard was a thinking the bear was funny. I've still got that recording, yeah. So yeah, it's but definitely the Overleas. I like that. I've been the bear. I mean, whichever you like, really. It's trial and error. I've had everything. There ain't nothing I haven't tried. SLS cameras I got. I think it's what you work with and what you feel you're happy with.
Yeah,
what you rely. Yeah, I mean, half the stuff equipment we'd never sometimes use. We only just ask for knocks, and that's, I think, the most important is having a camera, recording that. You can go investigating with, but I used to go with next to nothing, just a camera. That's all you need. And you see me running across the fields years ago. there's something down there, run. No, but that's all you need, We used to go looking for ghost trains and stuff like that. I mean, we ended up in something, like the local sweet shop getting sweets instead, It's the sort of thing you'd do. But you don't have to have all this top range equipment. Just
no.
I'd say have a camera, definitely, and which is probably on your phone as well, and just record as you're going around.
Just record it.
But always do protection before you do anything with anything. Protection. Get a blessing before and blessing after your investigation, because you don't know what you're dealing with. That's definitely important. I always advise that.
Now, I think Jennifer's got a question for you.
Have you debunked something?
But the people you tell refuse to believe.
Oh yes. I've got to watch what I say. Yeah, you got to do it in a kind way. So, well, it probably is something. I've had people debunk themselves. They sent me a picture and go so and so. And I said, "Well, I'll look at this. Let me see." And then they do. Oh, I said, "Well, that could be so and so." And they go, "Oh, okay, no, isn't that?" And then we'll have a little discussion on it. And then they'll go, "Actually, I know what that was. That was so and so." I went, "Oh, all right." They said, "Oh, sorry to bother you," and then that's it. But yes, some people are completely fanatical. That is, and I've got nothing against that. People believe that's a spirit. Then what can you say to them? You'd say there's nothing there. I mean, I've had pictures sent to me and they're completely black. I can't see nothing. I've even brightened up the screen. It's absolutely. I swear, there's absolutely
nothing there.
But if they feel, it depends what state of mind. That's the thing about in private. People don't realise when you're doing private investigations, you've got to know their state of mind, because there is people who do have illnesses, depression and things like that you have to deal with. So you have to be very careful what you say and do again. And sometimes we do get evidence at these places. Family think they've gone nuts. They lost the plot. We're going to lock them up in a straitjacket, sort of thing. But we've proved that there was something there. So they were like, And I've had the family saying to me, "Oh my God, well, we thought the person had not, do for the nut house sort of thing." I said, "Oh, you didn't know." So we've investigated people who are disabled as well, with special needs and things like that. We've done that before. And but you got again be careful, because you don't want to scare the hell out of them if you know there's something there, and you try and explain in a careful way, and make sure just treat them with respect, the same as the spirit people you investigate. Treat them with respect, and we'll investigate anything, trust me. I'm sure. Well, not at the moment, but we and also we give advice, like you say. If you give advice to people, you say to people, maybe an object is haunting where you are, and ask them to remove the object and see what happens. We can guide from here. We don't have to be there, and that's worked. They've removed an object, and all the activities cleared up. So, you try your best with what you can. Ghost witches.
Ghost witches. Cat balls, that's not an exclamation. That's what I've had most success with. Those flash and motion sensitive balls. What do you think about that?
Oh.
It's I think she's talking about the colour balls that are
yes,
sensitive.
they're good. Yes, they're okay. Yeah, we've had a few of them. I think Jane's into her balls at the moment. Excuse the pun. They're cheap, and I've tested them, and they have worked. Yes, they've been activated for no reason. They're moved as well. Plus, they got the movement. So you could put, say, like some put them on a piece of paper and draw around them, and so they're centered on in the center of the circle. And if something moves the ball out of the circle, and they're flashed on a camera, hopefully, see, cameras are important, and you can go, well, that unless there's a lorry went past that moved it, but then you debunk that, because you can use things like what they call it, movement. There's devices for movement, so you can put them. You got a sore throat like me. I think I don't get a drink.
Sure
we don't get no drinks around here, do we?
No. Sorry.
You love flashy balls. What a surprise, Cal. Yeah. So you can use the balls, as two things. One for the sensor inside it, and also for movement. So if you put it on we used to use talcum powder. That's the one thing we used to use. Spring it. The owners come in and go, "What the hell are you done to my front room?" No, seriously.
We use the cat balls. We've used them 3 times in here, and each time one's went off. Now, we're not saying it's paranormal, whatever. All we're saying is that we've got it's on our YouTube channel. We've done 2 investigations in here, and three occasions the lights went off.
Yes. Yeah.
So I think they're good.
I mean, the strange thing to test them, right, if you want to be sure, is to put one in your bedroom at night. This is a test. Put one near on the table. Leave it there and during the night and see if it goes off. If it ain't gone off all night, and then you go and take it to an investigation, the chances are that's working fine. There you go. If it goes off while you're in bed, then I would think, oh, hang on, you better get someone like Ghosted UK in if you need this.
We've done that in here, believe it. We're actually just now. One night, Sarah and I we put up one of the cushions for the couch, and we sat the 3 balls on it, and we left the webcam? We left the webcam and the computer running. And we went to bed. Our daughter was in bed, and the cats came to us, and we just shut the living room door and forgot about it. Just left it. And it was 6.5 minutes in. The ball went off. Now the webcam covered the whole room. There was nobody, and it showed us going to bed and shutting the door. And it was 6 minutes 27 seconds. So it was 6.5 minutes. The balls went off just briefly. It was only maybe 10, 15 seconds. It wasn't long, but the ball went off.
You can't explain it. No, it's some sort of energy either set off. I would have thought. I mean, the thing is, what we used to do as well is also swap balls. So we had one on each chair. One kept going off. So I said, right, swap the balls over, just in case it is a faulty ball. Some investigators do have faulty balls. Anyway,
fair enough.
yeah. and you swap them round like that, and then if that same one goes off again, was obviously a different ball then because you swap them around. I'm confusing you. Then hang on, why is that one they going off? Or I always try the sport changing things over. We've had CCTV being moved, so I went over to the camera and or change the cameras over and see if that happens. And if it does it again, I think, hang on, we'll change that. And it's debunk. So you can. I think it gives you that relief of actually catching something genuine, like your movement of your ball. It wasn't being touched. It was there. It was genuinely being something moving it, and so you can go, wow, we got something there. This is interesting. That's the thing. I'm not OCD over it. People, my team members will tell you I'm OCD over debunking. I'm crackers over it. I'm terrible, and I do get moody about it if they're doing something I don't like because I want it right. I want it so we can definitely say this is paranormal, and that gives you the thrill factor of the smile.
Well, we do have. We did have another capture on. We've got a laser pen. I mean, that was the first investigation we done in here, and we got a capture on that. And
that's a really good one.
We had Danny Mossy. We had him on. He looked at it, and who was the other? Was it Charlotte? Charlotte looked at it as well. And we can't explain it.
No, but doesn't that give you the like a smile and the talk about it like for the next week, like me going, wow, what happened? How did that happen? And it's genuine because you debunked everything in your site, and you get that. Oh, I can't believe that. That was amazing. You heard me on the Arthur Lowe thing going, I just can't believe this. This is amazing. And that's the thrill gets to say, well, this is bloody genuine. This is something happening now. And that's what I'm looking for. The genuine stuff that you can definitely say to yourself over and over again. If I found something, I've nearly posted something that was debunked. I debunked it in the end, but I leave it for a bit. But I have posted a post-it of a REM pod moving 2 feet, for instance. Went yes, and I went, oh my god, and I see something, and I go on over it again, and I think, well, that's real, that's genuine, that's a wow when you see objects moving. And I debunked it as that was a rug on a very shiny old wooden floor, and that was accidentally being pushed by a leg or whatever by one of the team. She didn't know she was doing it by accident. There was a death trap. These rugs they were putting out on this museum, and it, you imagine 18th century wooden floor, and then they put a rug on it, and this floor has been polished to the hell. And you remember years ago they say never put rugs on shiny floors. It's a death trap. Well, when you're moving something like that, it just went moving that, and that looked like that was moving 2 feet, and I was like, oh god, that's accidental, so I couldn't post it. Debunked.
Two more questions before we wind up, because I know that both of you are dying for a drink. This time you says you're quite toasty sitting there. Do you know what I mean?
She's cooking me.
Jennifer, she's on our USA team. Have you ever caught anybody faking evidence after the investigation? That's a good question. I don't think we've ever asked that before. Okay. That's a good question, Jennifer.
I've never. No, if I ever caught any of my team faking, our team. I say my team, our team. They'll kill me for saying that. They'll say, yeah, who do you think? I think I'm the boss. But I would not stay in the team. I mean, I can't say too much, but I have met people who I think was a bit iffy, so I wouldn't stay there if they were. If I know our team was doing anything iffy, then I wouldn't be there. Put it that way. I'd be out, got a shot, and I think there's no point if you're gonna fake stuff. Then what's the point? I don't see the point. You're wasting your time. People might do it for views. I know people do it. There's certain people out there doing it for views and money and stuff like that. I ain't gonna say who because I'm not like that. I'm not a drama queen.
I totally get where you're coming from.
I wouldn't give them more publicity than they need. Another penny. But I could debunk a lot of things out there at the moment that I've seen and think but there's be no point. There's no me adding a negative to their negativity by slandering them because it just wouldn't be right. I'm not into that, and with Power Unity, we don't want drama-free stuff anyway. We're not interested in it. If you want to do whatever you want to do about with your drama stuff, then do it on EastEnders or whatever you want. Well, paranormal is to investigate spirits. What's there? Not interested in anything else.
Just before we finish up, the Chaos asked it earlier on. I do apologise, Chaos, we never get out to it. Do you use a medium?
Yeah, I use an extra large. No, that's my dinner. No, yes, I do. Yeah, of course we do. We got Natasha and we use Annabelle and Jane's getting there. Some of them are training as well and learning. But yes, of course, because if we can use our equipment, like Overleas and our Ghost Box, and stuff like that, which is an amazing piece of equipment. The Ghost Box, it's unbelievable. We've had some amazing stuff in with that. If we can get that and the mediums to sync together, so they get a Fred Jones from say Manchester, who used to live here, in the past, and we get the same thing linked with our Overleas, and we get the same thing with our Ghost Box and things like that, and the mediums comes up with it as well, and they all match the same name and everything. That's a win-win because they've validated what we've captured and with equipment, and we've validated what they've got through as well. And we've had some amazing. I think Wayne, you were a bit of a in the audience at the moment. He come up with Arthur, with the Arthur Lowe thing, and I think Annabelle said Arthur, and I just brought it together and thought, well, the only thing I can think of is Arthur Lowe, because it's a big picture of them down below in the calf, and but you see, how would Wayne know to pick up? Well, you might have saw the thing, but the strange thing is they both mentioned his name. I then added the Arthur Lowe bit, and bang, there we go. We're communicating with them. So there'd been a bit of coincidence for them just to say, well, I just saw the picture of Arthur Lowe and thought, oh, what? Wayne didn't say Arthur Lowe or in Annabelle. They said Arthur. So they both got. I've had Carol's a medium there. You can as well saying things that she was saying about an investigation we ain't done yet, and she didn't know nothing about it, and she was getting the names through. Do you call it coincidence, or do you call it things? So there is a lot of dodgy mediums out there and fake rubbish. There's money as usual. And there's some genuine ones who are really, really good. And it's like the Tesco's, isn't it? There's either a good Tesco shop out there or a really bad one. So you got to watch where you shop.
Just depends what road you get down. But we'll wind it up there since you're sort of too warm want a drink. Sorry, Shelley. You going
I'm fine. I can
No,
go
it's
another
all right.
6.
You're fine.
I can go another 6 hours. Me, definitely.
That's fine. That's fine then.
Not 6 hours.
All right, no sec.
It's got another 24 hours. Why don't we do it? Just count on
A
24 hours?
marathon live video.
Yeah, why not? What else are you going to do? Where are we going? I can go there, but they're shut.
Gotta go anywhere.
It scares me when I get things right with names.
It scares me. Yes, he's Wayne's strange. I mean, Wayne's a strange one. He scares me because he comes out with names. He's been watching our lives and he comes up with things, and I do follow the order. You know, if people are watching and they say to me, "You ought to look around that," I'll do it because if you never know, as proved in the past. The same Carol said to me, "What didn't you ask if there's a Henry there?" I've asked because you never know if they get something and you get a response for it. Good for us and good for them. You know, we want the audience to get involved. You know, when we don't need trouble when we do lives. We always have a bad connection to something always playing with our blooming internet or our mobile data. Yeah, it's perfect before the live, working fine. Then when we go live, like a bit like tonight.
Yeah, it's that.
I was just, see, we've done quite a lot of these, and everyone. We've had the odd blip before we started, but 95% of the time it's because we don't touch any of this, between lives. Sarah uses it obviously, but we don't kind of rearrange it or anything like that, and it just wouldn't.
You wouldn't want me. You wouldn't want me to go around any location with you. Trust me, because stuff will happen. I can even before you. I've been on a radio show and all the mics went off. They couldn't even hear me on the live, and she was like, "I've never ever had. I've been doing this for years. I never had nothing wrong with my mics." And we were doing a Facebook live at the same time, and that wouldn't work. He couldn't hear me. I was silent. That they just whatever it was silent. And the lights kept flickering in there, and she was going, "Well, what's going on here?" She wouldn't have me back ever again. I've never been back at all. This is a live radio show. They wouldn't have me back.
Oh my God.
Jennifer wants to come back. She wants to pick your brain. Someone says it's been rather enjoyable. So she's part of our USA team. So thank you for that, Jennifer. But we'll wind it up there, folks. And Tim, hopefully we'll get you back very, very soon.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely. Yes. You can always pick my brain. Always.
Yeah, if we can just hold on you for a wee second or two after we come up with it.
Yes, of course.
Thanks, everyone.
To everybody who came in, thank you very much for coming in, folks.
Thank
I hope you enjoyed listening to Tim. Very, very enjoyable for us.
Yep.
We're back on Friday night at 9 we've got Dan and Shane coming back. They were on last week from CRA Entertainment, but everybody's been asking us to bring them back, so we're bringing them back on Friday at 9 o'clock. So that should be. I know Shelley liked them.
They were great, awesome guys.
I was right. I'm always right. I'm right about everything I say. Shelley liked them.
They're awesome.
So we'll see you. Hopefully we'll see you on Friday 9 p.m. for Dan and Shane. But Tim, thank you very much. Don't disappear.
And don't forget to share. Don't forget to share. Share away. Get that out there.
Thank you.
Share, please.
Thank you.
Thank you.